Judgment Day. Hero dad gets revenge. Taking care of business. Father does what court cannot. American justice. The headlines go on. The people love this guy.
Chavez Trevino. He killed the smug bastard who killed his daughter. Of course they love him.
How the hell did he get a gun into the courtroom?
This is gonna get messy quick. I say we charge him with voluntary manslaughter and let it go.
Abby?
You know what keeps me up at night? What if his aim was off? Just slightly. I wouldn't even be here to answer your question, Jack.
You're right. I'm not setting a precedent for street justice in our courtrooms, despite what the people think they want. Prove it was premeditated. Hit him with murder one.
You got it, boss.
Okay, then.
How does your client plead, Ms. Mullins?
Not guilty. Be advised, we're going to mount a diminished capacity defense. The defendant is a Gulf War vet who suffers from chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. We will show that Mr. Trevino was under extreme emotional distress at the time of the shooting and is therefore not eligible for murder one.
Any issues, counselor?
None, Your Honor. Defense has briefed us already. This doesn't change anything. We're moving ahead with murder one. Focus on the premeditation.
Her hair. The girl with the ponytail, her hair. I'm amused by it. I like it, but yet at the same time I'm just like, how does it stay so perfectly there? Sorry, my dad came in. As I was saying, her hair is just, I question how it just stays perfectly like that. On the side, like laying on her shoulder. Perfectly. It amuses me. I enjoy it. Anyway, your first witness is Detective Benson. As an eyewitness, she will testify to the facts of the shooting and give the jury an unbiased picture of the killing. To choose your case, focus on the pertinent details of the shooting and not the public outcry. Oops, I did not know that word for a second. Following your question, the defense will then cross-examine and try to break down her story. Good luck. ID shooter, Trevino's statement to the police, and public opinion. ID shooter.
Can you tell us definitively who shot Alexander Baran?
Without a doubt, the defendant, Chavez Trevino, shot him. I looked to see Mr. Trevino standing up with a smoking gun in his hand. Literally.
And can you identify him for the court?
Sitting right there. That's your shooter.
Is this an effective testimony? Yes. Ooh, I got a +10 for something. Watch the scales of justice meter to see whether the jury is siding with you or siding with you or the defense. Perform well in court and the scale will tip in your favor. Perform poorly and the scale will favor the defense. So, what side is me? The further the scales are tipping in your favor, the more likely the jury is to convict. It also gives you more power when it comes time to plea bargain. But which side is mine? 'Cause doesn't that look like the defense side? I mean, if you're sitting in the witness stand, like, I don't know. What exactly makes it effective? Detective Benson knows a great deal about handguns. Police officers never lie. Detective Benson was an eyewitness to the murder. Detective Benson participated in the capture of... I'm going with this one. Dump.
Please let the record show the detective pointed at the defendant.
New topics have been revealed. Trevino's statement to the police, public opinion, the gun.
After the shooting, Mr. Trevino made a voluntary statement to you about why he shot Mr. Baran. True?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said Mr. Baran had to die. He said Mr. Baran was going to claim immunity, escape prosecution, and run back to Russia.
Her face right there. Okay, motive, the gun, public opinion. Go with motive.
What else did he say?
He said the courts were weak, powerless. He said the only justice he wanted was a death sentence.
So, his motive was less about avenging his daughter's murder and more about exacting the type of justice he wanted to see.
Objection.
Withdrawn.
No, don't withdraw it. Good job. Occasionally a well-aimed jab at the defendant can score points with the jury even though you have to withdraw it. Okay, public opinion, the gun. I'm still not understanding. I'm under the assumption that this is actually us, which kind of doesn't make sense to me unless you're just witnessing everything go on, and then in that case, the prosecutor will be on this side if you're looking forward, and the defense would be on this side looking forward. But if you're in the if you're the witness and you're being called on, then it would be opposite, so that this would, like, you're facing everyone watching, and then this would be the prosecutor, and then this would be the defense. I'm probably just confusing everyone. Let's go with the gun.
Detective, how exactly did Mr. Trevino get a gun into the courtroom? Aren't there security measures?
We're still investigating how he breached security, but he claims he stuffed it into his jacket and simply walked through.
How difficult would it have been to get past security?
Mr. Trevino had to avoid metal detectors and checkpoints covering every entrance.
What would it take to get past all that security, Miss Benson?
Forethought, planning, and intelligence. Mr. Trevino had to keep his cool and his wits about him at all times.
What's Benson doing? Won't this testimony help the defendant? No. It wouldn't help him. So why is Cutter asking Benson to testify about Trevino's mental state? To establish that Trevino was not under extreme emotional distress when he acted. To establish grounds for mistrial. To cast doubt on whether Trevino was the shooter. To establish that Benson is an experienced law enforcement officer. First one.
Actions inconsistent with someone under emotional distress.
In my view, yes.
Is there any doubt as to the circumstances of the shooting, Detective?
None. Mr. Trevino shot the defendant in front of witnesses and admitted to the murder afterward. I wish every case was as simple.
Thank you, Detective. Your Honor, the people rest. No further questions for this witness.
I have to say, I wasn't paying attention to Jack's voice to know if it was right on or not. Benson's is totally off and it's still bothering me. For this, and they just don't have her personality right to me either, but it might just be the voice. For this testimony, the jury sides with the prosecutor. You won by 50 points. Overall, the jury likes your case a little bit. You are ahead by 50 points. Continue. This is an interesting game. Christina Mullen is the defense attorney you are facing today. Your job is to object when she gets out of line. Here are two tricks she likes to use. She will disguise comments as questions such as, are we really supposed to believe this lie? This is argumentative. She will also insult your witness by calling him a lowlife or a criminal. This is badgering. Remember, badgering is a straight insult. Argumentative is when Mullen casts doubt on the testimony disguised as a question.
Detective Benson, you testified that you saw the defendant, Chavez Trevino, shoot the victim.
I feel like this is going to
No,
be kind of harder.
I testified that I turned around and saw Mr. Trevino with a smoking gun in his hand, about a second after I heard the shots.
So you didn't actually see him do the shooting? Are we supposed to believe you're a relevant eyewitness?
Would you like to object? Yes.
Objection.
Badgering is the straight insult. Argumentative is okay. Badgering asked and answered. Oh god, what did she just say? Can I check this? So you didn't actually see him do anything. Are we supposed to believe you're a relevant witness? Okay, so it's argumentative.
Argumentative.
Sustained. Ms. Mullins, enough with the rhetoric.
Immediately after the shooting, what did Mr. Trevino look like?
I don't follow you.
Was he composed? Calm?
He was in possession of himself.
Wasn't he yelling out, "My baby, you murdered her"?
He said that, yes.
He was out of his mind with grief. He was coming apart at the seams, and you didn't see it? Really? I don't believe you.
He was upset.
Do I object to this one? What was... Oh god, I do not like this part of it. He was out of his mind with grief. He was coming He was coming apart at the seams, and you didn't see it? Really? I don't believe you. I don't know. I want to get it right, but I don't know. He was out of his mind with grief. He was coming apart at the seams, and you didn't see it. Really? I don't believe you. I want to go with yes.
Objection.
Badgering?
Badgering.
Objection overruled.
Is
Damn
your
it.
heart so cold, Detective? Are you such a robot that you can't see another human in distress?
Yes.
Objection.
That one is badgering.
Badgering.
Sustained. The defense can save the dramatic storytelling for its own witness.
Let's try this one more time. Was my client, Chavez Trevino, visibly shaken and distressed following the shooting?
Yes.
Did he appear rational, calm?
No.
Was his behavior at that moment consistent with a person in severe emotional distress?
Yes.
So despite any forethought or planning he might have shown previously, the defendant was clearly in distress when he fired his weapon. True? True?
Yes.
Thank you.
That face.
That's all for this witness, Your Honor.
For this testimony, the jury sides with the prosecution. You won by 10. Overall, the jury is leaning towards your case. You are ahead by 60.